Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Alex and this is TechFlow. Today, highly requested video. This is Amos version 3. This is my computer, which David Diablo built for me. I will put his links in the description. He is a wonderful gentleman. This Corsair, well, this computer's been a massive build with collaboration with Corsair, MSI, and a few other companies. I'm going to take you through what's inside and what's outside and what you can see. But first off, I'll turn it on because you can see the display. It's like the Blackpool illuminations inside of here. You ready for this? Ready? That's sick. That's actually mad. And I've seen it so many times. I see the thing every day. It's a piece of art, right? So guys, I mentioned the name David Diablo. I'm going to put his Twitter down in the description. He is the mastermind that built this machine. It's all custom. The case has been modified. All the cables have been custom stitched and custom made for this build. And we're going with a black and red theme on this machine, as well as obviously the RGB colouring. So let's start there. If I take off the front bit of glass on this Corsair case, all of these guys' links will be in the description, by the way, because I don't remember half of the names. There's that many things that I've got to remember, so the name of the case isn't fresh in my mind. So I'll just put all the links to everything in the description. So first off, I'll talk about how the LEDs are working. And I've got this set up in a way where all of the fans are just cycling through the RGB colour space, which is absolutely awesome. But you can literally have it so that this fan would light up, then this fan would, and you can do it all in order, and it's actually in the OS, so you do it in Windows 10. And the reason or how you do that is through a bit of software called Commander Pro from Corsair. And essentially you attach all the LED strips to it, as to which is one there, one there, one there, and one there, and then all the fans to it. And inside the OS, like I've said, you can control all the lighting, but furthermore, you can actually control the fan speeds and do custom fan curves inside of the OS. So whilst you're literally in your pause menu of your game, which is absolutely awesome. So that's the LEDs out of the way. Let's talk about actual computer spec. So the motherboard behind this build is the MSI Z270 M7, but it's the gaming edition. And obviously that doesn't really make much of a difference. I feel like all gaming people just slap the word gaming, or motherboard people or computer part people just slap the word gaming on the end of it just to make you buy it. But nevertheless, this is the gaming M7 from MSI. It's a beautiful board. It goes along very nicely with the black and red theme of the build, with the black and red accenting lights, which come on to start with before all of the LEDs. I'll try and demonstrate that again now. So if you guys pay attention right now, you'll just see before all the RGB comes on, you see all the red accenting that comes on there, and then the RAM comes on. So moving on from the Z270 motherboard, we may as well talk about the RAM. We've got 32 gigs inside this bad boy of DDR4 RAM, which is absolutely mental. It looks awesome in this colour pulsating theme right here. And again, this is all controlled by the Corsair software, the Commander Pro, so you can actually change what these actually look like, which is really cool. These aren't the RGB version though, they're just the red version. As I've said, this is a red and black build, but you can literally get the RGB one, so you can have them pulsating any colour of the rainbow. 32 gigs of RAM inside of here, Corsair Vengeance. So underneath the Corsair cooler, and I'm going to get to the cooler in just a second because this case has been modified, and the first thing that was modified is the cooler, but we'll get onto all the customization in just a second. The processor behind this is a 4.2 GHz 7700K. Yes, we're talking big guns right now. Got a lot of processing power inside this thing, which is brilliant for video editing, which is kind of all I use this machine for, primarily on a hardware basis. That's all I really stretch to do on this PC. A little bit of gaming, but not too much. Talking about the cooler, as you guys can see on here, my M logo is, well, it's been painted into the actual cooler itself, and when the cooler gets over, I think about 85 degrees, which is going on to max sort of temperature, this will actually glow red, which is kind of cool, but it's also telling you to, hey, cool your PC down ASAP. But I've never actually seen it glow red because I've got so many fans inside of here, and everything is water cooled. So as you can see, we've got the CPU water cooled here, and then also the GPU. It has its separate little radiator here, which is a single 120mm, and then we've got the dual 120mm up the top for the CPU. Surprised it's not going red because I am literally sweating up here. It's so hot in England right now. So moving down to the GPU, this isn't a 1080 Ti, it's only the 1080, but it does exactly what I need it to do, which is run my 3 4K ultra-wide screens on my desk, which are like 38 inches large all 3 of them, so there's a lot of pixels, and it drives them absolutely fine. Even when we're trying to play, you know, NVIDIA surround games, it doesn't choke whatsoever, and I think that's down to its water cooling here. It never, ever throttles. This Seahawk card stays literally around 40 degrees even when I'm gaming, and the fans never ramp up. I keep this thing on auto, by the way, all the fan settings, it's just on auto all the time. And then as you can see here, we've got the custom cables that David made himself. So again, shout out to David for building and customizing all of these cables inside this build. Awesome stuff. And underneath that, I've got the Elgato Gaming Pro capture card for capturing games when I used to live stream, and I wanted to do that a lot more, so that stays in here until I further utilise it in the hopefully near future. So that is pretty much everything around the front. I'm going to turn this thing round now and show you the back, because the back is actually just as interesting at the front, or as the front of the computer, but the thing is, where I keep this PC at home, you never get to see the back, because it literally just faces a wall, but the back is also illuminated, and it has had just as much, well, thought put into it as the front has. So as you can see here, etched into the glass here, this is the first bit of customization I'm going to talk about. There's my Work Hard Anywhere MarzBar logo, which is absolutely cool. That's actually etched into the glass, which is super, super cool. So I'll take off this side panel right now. Here's one reason why as well why I just absolutely love this case, because it's just so modular, and you'll see why in just a second, because David has made some awesome modifications to make the back look just as good as the front you see here. So let's take a look at what's going on in the back.
You might say this phone is business in the front,
party in the back.
So as you guys can see here on the back, we've got 2 SSDs right here. So these, as you can see, you're not going to know what SSDs they are because, well, they're custom. They've got my logo on them, which is absolutely awesome. Shout out to David, you're a legend. And again, all these custom cables on the back routed round just look absolutely awesome, following on from this black and red build that I wanted to go for. And then also, you can't really see it on the camera, it looks a lot better at night, but there even is an LED strip around the back which simply just glows green. And it's separate from all the Corsair stuff, it's just one that plugs into the PSU. Other than that, that's the back of the computer. And here's another modification for you, which you can't see. Under here, there's a 2TB hard drive, but there's a custom plate that's been put on here to hide all of the Commander Pro stuff, which does all the lighting at the front, and also hides the Hobel Green Western Digital 2TB hard drive, which has all my games on it. So that is there, and that is black, so you can't even notice it. And then as soon as you put the glass panel back on the back of this thing, it just looks wicked. So bringing this thing back round, I'll show you guys the front right now, because this is where the first customization comes in. So as you can see, we've got our 3 fans right here, and then right there, you see that lit up there? That's usually a Corsair logo because it's a Corsair case, but now it's been remade, and it's my logo. This is the MarzBar logo on the case that lights up. Sick, right? And then I'm gonna bring it back here, and we're gonna have to cut to a lot of B-roll right now because these shots are, well, gonna need to be quite tight for you guys to see what's going on. But right down here in the PSU cover, yeah, it's my logo. It's pretty cool, right? And then one that you guys definitely aren't gonna see unless we put some B-roll over right now. My MarzBar logo is on the top right here of the Seahawk 1080, and it's huge and it pulsates red. And whether you guys will be able to see this or not, even on the top of the case, there is my MarzBar logo etched in to the top of this unit, of this bad boy, of this absolute masterpiece. So there you go. That's my custom PC. I've had so many questions about it. I thought I'd just sort of do a video on it so you guys can see my own, or my very own custom PC. And yes, it's custom because it's been built, but it's also even more custom because everywhere you look at this thing, there's some sort of MarzBar logo, whether you look at it, you know, inside or at the back or on the top or on the front, there's a logo that represents me, and that is why I love this thing. Even though the spec isn't that mental, you know, we're not 1080 Ti in it, we're not even an SLI right here, we're just talking about complete customization and what we've done to this case to make it awesome. And also a really cool thing to note as well, these glass panels, the one on the front has absolutely nothing on it, just a simple piece of glass that goes over the front because the front of it is totally awesome. But you can swap it out with the back panel, which has the Work Hard Anywhere logo on it. So you could essentially, if you want to, just put that one on the front and have a little logo on there if you'd like to have that there. But I don't, I like that on the back. And when I take this PC around to my new house, I'm going to make sure that each side of this PC are visible and it's not backed up against a wall, and the back of this computer is then going to waste because nobody can see it. And the only downside to all of this glass is just fingerprints. I've had to waste half a bottle of muck off trying to make this video possible because It just gets so fingerprinty the minute you lay your fingers on it. But there you go. That's my custom PC. Drop a like if you enjoyed and drop a dislike if you didn't. Tell us why in the comments. And I assume that we'll just, as usual, see you in the next one.